That's awful small. It's got to be in there somewhere. How small is it? And welcome back to Cliffy Land. This is Week in Country number 122 on our second attempt of cooking the food of every single country in the world. And tonight we're up to the nation of Nauru. Nauru, located in the Central Pacific Ocean, is about as far away from anything as you can get, and it is really small. In fact, its closest neighbor is one of the islands of Kiribati, far, far away. It is part of the island chain of Micronesia, not to be confused with the Federated States of Micronesia, which is a republic. Speaking of republics, Nauru is the smallest independent republic on the planet. It's about 17 square miles. It has about 11,000 people. It has a fascinating history, which I really recommend you look up. Now, about its food, that's tied into the history, in that over the past 100+ years, about 90% of the land has been rendered incapable of farming because of phosphate mining, which, like I said, is part of its long, complicated history, which means everyone lives in like one little quadrant of the island. And that also means that a lot of the food, in fact, most all the food these days, has to come in from outside. So finding a dish to cook last time and this time that's an official cuisine of Nauru was very difficult. We managed to try it last time, so let's take a look and see how things went when we tried things then. Well, 4 years ago on the Global Cooking Adventure, I, like anyone else who's ever tried to cook the food of every country in the world, was kind of stumped on this one and wound up punting and doing a coconut fish, which is basically what everyone else has done, which is, fish breaded and fried with coconut. It came out rather nicely, even though I did kind of screw up and get the wrong kind of fish, but that's a different situation. I served that with a spam fried rice, which isn't really a traditional dish of Nauru specifically, but it does speak to the tradition from post-World War II of island nations in the Pacific eating canned meats, or specifically spam, and mixing it in with other things. And since there is so much Chinese food on Nauru, spam fried rice does seem to be a way to go. Now, both of those came out rather nicely last time, so looking forward to doing them again. So let's take a look and see what goes into those two dishes. First, for our spam fried rice, we'll need 2 tablespoons of canola oil divided, 2 large eggs, which will be beaten, 2 cloves of garlic minced, 6 ounces of spam diced, a half a cup of frozen corn, a half a cup of frozen peas, a half a cup of frozen diced carrots, 3 cups of cooked rice, 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce, a half a tablespoon of fish sauce, a 1/4 teaspoon of sesame oil, a 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper, 2 green onions sliced, and sriracha for serving. And then for our coconut crusted fish, we'll need about 1 pound of fish fillets. Here we're using mahi-mahi, 1/3 cup of panko breadcrumbs, 1/3 cup of freshly shredded coconut, 1 egg, and about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil for frying. That could be really delicious. It's time we get cooking. In a large skillet, heat 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil over low heat. Add the eggs and cook until cooked through, about 2 to 3 minutes per side, flipping only once. Let the eggs cool before dicing them into small pieces. Then heat the remaining 1 tablespoon of oil in a skillet over medium-high heat. Then add the garlic and spam and cook, stirring often until light golden brown, about 3 to 4 minutes. Then add the corn, peas, and carrots, and cook, stirring constantly until the vegetables are tender, about 1 to 2 minutes. Then add the rice and gently toss to combine. Then add soy sauce, fish sauce, sesame oil, and white pepper, and cook, stirring constantly until heated through, about 1 to 2 minutes. Stir in the green onions and the eggs, and serve immediately, drizzled with sriracha if desired. In a skillet, heat 2 tablespoons of the coconut oil. Then, in a shallow plate, mix the breadcrumbs and the coconut. Optimally, I see now that the recipe probably meant dry shavings. In a shallow bowl, whisk the egg, and then dip both sides of the fish in the egg, and then coat with the coconut breadcrumbs. Shake off any excess coating,
and then fry the fillets over medium heat for about 3 minutes per side, depending on the size of the fillet. Plate servings of the fish. Serve the Spam fried rice alongside, and serve with lime wedges for the fish.
How did that turn out? Well, let's start off with that coconut rice. Well, I had some execution errors on that one because this time, instead of going with the dried coconut shavings, which I wanted to avoid, since I heard you really want to go as fresh as possible, I wound up getting a young coconut, which I'd never actually used before. And once I chopped it open, I saw the insides were actually kind of more mushy than dry that I expected. Ergo, with the panko breadcrumbs and the egg, it didn't really stick too well to the fish, and that didn't really look terribly pretty. But it tasted really good, and with the lime on it, it was also very delicious. Next time I do it, I'll do it better, so I'm going to give the coconut fish 4 out of 5 globes. Really tasty and, ridiculously simple. Now, let's talk about that Spam fried rice. If you're going to have a heart-healthy diet, do not eat this dish. It is very high in sodium. It has sodium in the Spam. It has sodium in the soy sauce. It has sodium in the fish sauce. But that being said, it is super tasty. I really loved it. I went back for seconds. Oh my god, it was so good. So you'll be retaining water, but you'll enjoy it. So that does it for Nauru and this little stint in Oceania. Next week we go from sea level to the top of the world when we have the food of Nepal. See you then. And remember, if you'd like to see our streams live when they happen, follow us on Periscope or Facebook Live. Like and subscribe to be advised when these videos are posted. If you have any thoughtful feelings or helpful suggestions about the food that we're cooking, sound off in the comments. Remember, links to the original recipes, remember these aren't my recipes, are found in the About section. And tune in next time. Thanks for watching and happy eating!